Okay, I'm doing another video. This one's a little freaky. I've come from a long line of people who've had gifts or did stuff with the practice. I had a great grandmother that read tea leaves. My grandmother read playing cards as tarot cards. My mother communed with the moon and was into self healing. Her brother, my uncle, was a dowser. And so we just come from a long line. And actually, I have a great, 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 great grandmother that was hung in Salem as a witch, and another one that she's a very, very distant cousin. So it's there, and maybe not all those people were witches, but the fact that it's in my line the way it is, I think those two were. So anyway, I also had a great aunt, or great great aunt, who had the gift, as we called it, the sight, which I totally inherited from her. She would sense things, she would know things. Where she lived at my parents' house, I think I mentioned this, that house was built when George Washington was president, and it was in our family ever since, until we just had to sell it 2 years ago after my mom died. Well, anyway, she was sitting in the living room window, and there was a farmer up the road that she did not like. So he'd come by with his team of horses, and I guess he was obnoxious and usually really loud with the horses or something. Well, she's inside. These windows did not open. They're double pane. There's no way nobody could hear. And she's sewing, and then one time she just quietly said, well, wouldn't it be something if those horses ran away with him? And they did right then. Ran away, took off. He's on his wagon. It's horrible. And it wasn't, I mean, he didn't get hurt. The horses didn't get hurt, but it was quite something. So that was always a big story. Now, I've had this thing with pregnancies. A lot of times I'll know if somebody's pregnant before they do. And I also can tell you what you're having for a child. Like, I've had my cousins and everybody keeping tabs. I'm 53 times I was right, one time I was not, and I still said child just changed the sex halfway through. But I've had this too. My husband has it. We can we'll finish each other's sentences, or we'll both not say anything, and then one of us will say something about like a memory that's like this random little tiny memory from like 15, 20 years ago, and the other one's like, oh my God, I was just thinking of that. And we've also had it where, like, especially celebrities, like, we'll be like, I wonder if so-and-so is still alive. I don't know. We don't do that anymore because it's happened 5 different times, and they weren't all that old. Some of them weren't sick, and within like 2 days on the news, they passed. It's like, okay, we're not gonna do that anymore. So I've always had these weird things, and I've sent stuff, and family sometimes come to me for certain things. And I can't call it, like, it's not something that I know regularly. Sorry, you hear beeping. I'm cooking my son's lunch. Well, there's some people up the street about half a mile away. They're not very nice. I've never had really any personal dealings with them, but they just by flags, signs, stuff they have in the yard, but it's very not nice stuff, so they're not nice people. But just about 3 months ago, I remember going by, and they're out there just doing something, and I said, wouldn't it be something if their place caught on fire? Well, today, the garage burnt down. So I gotta use my powers wisely. Just one of those weird random things. Let me know if you guys ever have anything like that. Like, I always have dreams that come true, or it's strange. So I gotta go let my dog out right now. Just food for thought.